In the windswept hills of central Illinois, where prairie grass bends like whispers beneath the weight of forgotten time, there stands a ruin, overgrown, silent, and sanctified by blood. This is the site of Sacred Heart Seminary, or what's left of it. From 1847 to 1862, it was hailed as the Midwest's most prestigious Catholic institution. But behind its grand Gothic walls, something sinister thrived, something the Catholic Church spent over a century trying to erase. Cut to black and white historical photos of seminarians, grainy images of Gothic architecture, and handwritten letters fading in and out of view. 17 young priests and seminarians, gone. Church records say they were transferred, reassigned, or sent on extended retreats. But hidden beneath the chapel floorboards in a sealed compartment untouched for over 100 years, investigators uncovered letters. Letters written in fear, in desperation, letters soaked with the final thoughts of men who would never leave those halls alive. Here's the rewritten and expanded version of your story, designed to be more suspenseful, cinematic, and rich in atmosphere. Perfect for a 30-minute dark YouTube documentary-style narration. The story has a compelling hook, deep historical immersion, chilling character profiles, and a slow-burn mystery that builds to horrifying revelations. The camera slowly descends into the earth, as if going underground beneath the chapel. Sacred Heart wasn't just a seminary, it was a fortress. Designed by Irish architect Patrick Keeley, it rose like a cathedral in the cornfields. 3 stories high, stained glass windows 20 feet tall, imported Bavarian pews, a bell tower so loud it shook the grass for miles. But for all its beauty, what happened inside would corrupt its foundation. Slow pan across a dark, flickering corridor inside a recreated Gothic hallway. The seminary opened its doors with pomp and praise. Dozens of young men enrolled, mostly Irish, some German, a few born in the frontier towns of Illinois. Among them, Thomas Devlin, aged 19, last seen writing a letter to his mother that ended with the chilling line, "They have locked the doors at night now. I do not know why. There are screams in the walls." He vanished 2 weeks later. Father Eamon Callahan, Brother Declan Boyle, Rector Francis Quinn, the Holy Trinity of Sacred Heart's leadership, at least on paper. But Vatican correspondence uncovered decades later would reveal that none of these men had ever been ordained. In fact, only Boyle's real name was Boyle. The others were escaped convicts from County Cork, killers who'd strangled the real clergy en route from Boston, buried their bodies in a Chicago cellar, and assumed their vestments. Show eerie reenactments of identity theft, men scrubbing blood from holy garments and standing before the altar in falsehood. With total control of the seminary, they began a new trade. Promising ordainment, they lured the faithful, isolated them, and sold them, trafficked them across the Mississippi River under the guise of mission work. Some were forced into labor camps, others into brothels. A few never made it out of the cellar. In 2023, a team of amateur historians investigating the ruins of Sacred Heart discovered a hidden trapdoor beneath the altar. Behind it, a stone staircase, sealed since the 1860s. At the bottom, chains, bones, and a ledger listing 17 names. The last entry reads simply, "Devlin screamed, would not comply." Medical analysis revealed scratch marks on the stone walls, consistent with human fingernails. Some had clawed until their fingers bled. One name, Francis M. Harrow, was later traced to a missing person notice in 1856, issued by a mother who said, "My boy wanted only to serve God. Please tell me where he is." The Catholic Church learned of the disappearances in 1862, but rather than expose the horror, they quietly shut the seminary down, claimed financial insolvency, and moved the remaining students to a facility in St. Louis. The building was left to rot. Local whispers spoke of ghosts, of weeping heard in the fields at night, but official records, sealed for 150 years. In 2019, a whistleblower priest leaked 72 pages of internal Vatican correspondence. Among them, a chilling statement from 1872. "The American flock must never know. Let the dead remain in God's judgment. You may ask, why uncover this now? Why disturb the bones of the past? Because truth doesn't rot, even if the church wants it to. Because those 17 men weren't just names on a page. They were sons, brothers, believers, and they were betrayed by the very house they trusted to guide their souls. So the next time you pass a crumbling chapel or hear bells echoing in the distance when no one's around, remember Sacred Heart, a place where prayers turn to screams and where three wolves in priest clothing turned a house of God into a tomb. If you believe these stories deserve to be told, subscribe, like, comment below where you're watching from, because the next forgotten tale might be buried in your own backyard.